I'm still in the new owner phase of my Corvette C6. This is a 2011 GS model. And this video is going to cover electrical gremlins and troubleshooting around the door and door activity related parts and items. So I knew about these issues before I bought this car, and when I had it the first few months, all the doors, latches, buttons, everything was fine. So I figured, okay, maybe the previous owner took care of those issues or I got lucky. But sure enough, one of these gremlins bit me later, right? So let's go through what that is. And so the passenger door inside that button doesn't work. But I can open the door from the outside, and the driver's side door is okay too. So it's just the passenger door. So let me show you what this looks like. So open the door, sit inside, close the door, and if you want to get out, nothing with the button, unlock just to be sure. Now luckily there is an emergency release of the door down here on the floor for both doors, so you just pull up on this and you can get out. I will go on a little mini rant that this is a bad design. I don't know what the engineers at GM were thinking, if this was like a security feature or something, but almost every other car maker, when you open it, the door latches from the inside are a physical connection, not electronic, because just think of the safety issues, right? Like, what if you got in a wreck and your battery got disconnected, you had no power? Like, how'd you get out? And it's like, well, maybe you could use this, but what? It's just a, and there's so many. If you go, this is such a common problem. You read any of the forums, any discussion areas on social media, door-related issues. So the inside switch, the latch here, which is also called an actuator, and this outside handle, which is referred to as like the pad. Like, these are very common problems in the Corvette C6. So how do you go about troubleshooting these, right? So the order I would recommend is you always start with fuses, right? You know, so the fuses for the door related items are under here on the passenger side. I'll get to that in a second and go through that, but you'll check those. I don't think it's the fuses, because there's a fuse for the door, switches, locks, and if the fuse was bad, it would also affect the driver's side door, which I'm not having problems with. One thing on the Corvette C6, these parts are interchangeable. So you can actually take this button, swap it out to the driver's side door, test it to see if it's a problem with the part or not. That's one option you can do to troubleshoot. The same thing with these exterior door handle pads. You can swap these. So like if this one wasn't working on the outside, and there's videos to like take them apart, clean them, put them back together. I'm not going to go through that. But if this was acting up on you and you think it's the part, you can actually take this off, take the driver's side one off, bring it over here and see if that fixes your problem, right? So that's something you can do here. The actuators, or what I call the door latches that are on the frame here, these are not swappable. The passenger side is different from the driver's side door. I don't know why, but they are. And if you have to get parts, parts are relatively cheap. The actuators are a little more. So I went online. I don't know if I have to use these or not, but sooner or later. These door switches for a C6, a pair is like 20 bucks, so it's like 10 bucks each. The pads are actually cheaper. You can buy the pads brand new. I think it's like 15 bucks for two. Actuators cost a little bit more. I bought a passenger side one just in case I need it. I don't think I need it. People will say you should get OEM parts, which in general I agree for like critical component. Like in general, I would do OEM in general, but when the price of one of these is like less than a half or a third of OEM. And, you know, the way I look at it is the OEM parts are the ones that crapped out, right? So, you know, if I can buy a single door switch for 10 bucks each, and the OEM is like 30, this would have to fail like 3 times for the cost of the OEM. So some things I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go online and buy the parts because they were bad quality from the manufacturer to begin with, because almost every other car I've owned, I've never had door problems like this on such a relatively newer car. So anyway, I'll go on to the next step to troubleshoot. Under the passenger side on the Corvette C6, down the floorboard, these are the set of fuses that are all door, latch, trunk, window related in here. Got a flashlight so you can see better in here. There's a, when you flip this down here so you get behind the carpet, pull this flap down, you'll see there's a fuse diagram. And the fuses you want to check in particular for these door buttons are the door lock, even though it doesn't say button. And then I've also, just to be sure, I also seen, where is it? Driver door switch right below the infamous OnStar fuse. So I checked both of those real quick. Let me see if I can do this while holding the camera. You can just use a set of needle nose pliers and those 2 fuses to check. If you're looking at the box, this top right one, 15 amp, if you can see that. And then over here on the left side, this second one down, this second 10 amp one below the OnStar fuse. I pulled those out, I checked them. They're not blown. I didn't expect them to be blown because I would, if it was a blown fuse, then I would think it would have impacted both doors, not just one door. Something interesting as under here, first time opening this up, previous owner had a mild to wild switch in here. I don't have the fob, but this will probably explain why my exhaust at rest is a little throatier than probably average. I know this is not a video about the NPP exhaust, but for those of you that have that NPP exhaust option where the flaps can open the exhaust in and out, this is a, I don't know, some kind of like gimmicky option to open and close them. If you really wanted to run your exhaust open all the time, you just pull the fuse, which is down. Do you see that one that it says exhaust module 10? That's the one. Anyway, but back to the doors. The fuses look okay, so let's go to the next step. So popping this part off, the door buttons, interior door buttons, is easy. There's videos online how to do it. It came out pretty easy. I used, I happen to have like a set of like interior tools to work on cars, and this little sharp edge just fit under here and worked out. I did have as a backup a very tiny flathead screwdriver which could slip under here and pop it out. Now as soon as I popped this switch out, it was connected to this part, but it quickly kind of fell apart on me. So this is the existing, the old switch, and this part fell out, this little thing here, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's probably not what it's supposed to do. And so I looked at it in a little more detail, and these 2 connections, those shiny connections there, most likely match up to, hold on a sec, when you press down, it should have contact with there and there, right? And that little, this is a light bulb, it went on, it was on earlier, but that's your interior light, so your switch lights up in the dark. But this, if you look at the new switch, I took the new switch out. Hold on, everything's black and dark in here. Oh, in my lap. So, nope, that's not it. Shit. I had, oh, it's right there. Sorry, it's hard to see in here. So this is the new switch, not the old switch. As you can see, that's one unit, right? And also, notice on the new part, when you press the button, like it pops in and out, right? Like it springs back. The old one, which I probably meant to show you this, is actually stuck in, it's still in there. I haven't popped it out yet. And when I press it, it's not springing out, and that blue piece would go, if I put it in my lap here and put a light on it. This piece, most likely the contacts would be facing outward, right? And there's a little dimple there that matches up probably to that little part there. So what you would do is, if I want to try to reuse this, put it back together, I'd put that in there, and then I would take this, try to connect it back up, see if that would work. I don't know if that'll work. I'll try that real quick, but if that doesn't work, what I have to do is probably take the rest of this off here. So let me try that next. Well, putting that back together actually fixed it. So you can see I don't have it back in the car yet, but I fitted up the back here. It's not very sturdy, I would say, but you know, I hooked it up, and now if I just press the button, if I hold the back, that's, well, crap, now it's not sort of open. Whoops. So now I mean, if I bolted it back together, it's not, you know, but my concern is there's nothing, like if I snap it back in, there's nothing to press down, and so I still think this whole part is just, you know, for 10 bucks, I think I'm just going to put the new, I could maybe get the old part to work again, but it seems pretty flimsy, so now I'm just going to try to just put the replacement on there and see if that looks better, holds better. A tip to help you get this out so you don't crack or break anything is from the door internals, this receiving or female side, what you have to do is you have to get into the top here, and there's a tab, and you got to get I got a thin screwdriver. The other part wouldn't work. It's a very thin screwdriver. You want to get in there and push that down. So here's the replacement part, the new part, right? This part, that's fixed. So like this doesn't, like that doesn't go up and down. That's a fixed raised part right here. So what happens is on the receiver side, there's something that goes over this, and like it folds down on top of that. So you have to lift it up and then slide it out to get it out. So that's what I did. Here I can just finish. So if I slide this out now, up there was the little, let me see if I can get it in. Oh, I need a light. Hold on. You can't see in there. There we go. So you see that tab there? I don't have a free hand to show you, but you got to get a screwdriver and just lift that up to slide this old part out. And so I got them side by side now. So the old part that fell apart, the new one. And before I put the back in, you can see like there's no, like that is very sturdy. It's not falling apart. I may keep this part, I don't know, I may keep it if I need parts, but it already failed, so it's probably not going to be any good. All right, so the last part is just, you know, snapping that back in. It should go fast. And before you snap everything back together, just test it. So I got the new, it's snapped in fine, so the replacement part fits well. It's tight in there. Just try opening your door like this before you put everything back together just to make sure it works okay. So press the button. Look at that. Shut it. You can see the lights on, so you know the light will shine a little bit with the interior lights. So looks like it was a bad part. I didn't have to swap it out with the driver's side door because it fell apart as soon as I took it out. So that is quickly how you fix an interior door button for a Corvette C6. Okay, I got hands free now. So in retrospect, I took the old switch out. I think it's the original switch. I wanted to see like why it failed, and it looks like there's two, I'll use my pointer here. There's two tabs that should go there on that side. If you flip it over, two tabs on this side. These two tabs seem to be holding. They're like just barely, but like for some reason on the other side, the two tabs, if I pull it apart, they got worn out, or I don't really know what happened. But if I really wanted to, because if I put it back together and hold it, the switch seems to work okay, right? So if I, like that pops in and out. So if I really wanted to super glue it and put it back in, I could probably reuse the switch, but I decided not to do that. And the reason I think it's an original is going to be hard to see here, but it says, I'm trying to see myself, other side. It says, well, oh yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. It says made in Canada, right? Well, I'll need a flashlight, but it says made in Canada right there. So I think that is probably the original switch. But I went ahead and did the replacement switch, and it works fine.